Do yourself. Peace. This is Bornking of Law doing a series of interviews for the 5% newspaper. Right now I'm sitting with one of our esteemed brothers, man, you know what I mean? So I'm going to let him introduce himself, and so we're going to continue with the interview. Peace to the God.
Peace. My name is Now Allah.
Peace now, Allah. Hey, God, man, could you tell the people where we at right now?
We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, also known as Queen City. Charlotte was named after a black queen, and that's how it got a name, Queen Charlotte. And this is the city that we in, and we recognize original people, so we ain't got to come and try to make nothing over. We building on the foundation of our knowledge. A lot of people don't know that, but Charlotte was a black queen that this city was named after.
That's peace, God. So could you tell the people, we're sitting inside of a building, could you tell the people the address of this building and what this building is going to represent for this nation in Queen City?
It's 1163 Commercial Avenue, something like that. It's what the project is the brothers got together and wanted to see a school in Now C. But we came to the conclusion that there's been a lot of schools in a lot of places that don't withstand. The school, the original school, 2122 7th Avenue, stands because it was built on the foundation of Almighty God Allah's knowledge, and He put it into effect where we would have that building for 99 years. You understand? According to His, power and His dealings with the authorities. You understand? That school was originally a barber shop, and the other side was a beauty parlor. Once the barber shop closed down, it was acquired by Mayor Lindsay administration, and that's how we got our first street academy that was run under the Urban League. Originally, if you ever seen any old pictures of the school, that's what it said, Urban League Street Academy. And that's how that came about. Now, it transitioned from a place where people came and got their hairs cut. Men and women came together. In both parts, and it transitioned into a school. So we developed the idea of building a barber shop that would support our school. That way, we wouldn't have to be passing no hats around, passing no bottles, or begging every time you look around to keep it going, like it has happened a lot in the past. We made this to be self-sufficient, so we don't have to worry about how the rent was getting paid. We have that entity, which is the barber shop, to take care of it and keep it going.
Indeed. So could you share with the people, the brothers who had the idea and at the core of making this project happen?
What happened is, Parliament's been slacking Charlotte for a while, so brothers had the desire to get back together, and bring all minds together. And we did that. We went to a brother's barber shop because he had the space on. It was on a Sunday. He said we could have it, and that building. We came together and did that. Brother was talking about having a school, and the brother that did the barber shop, matter of fact, he was cutting at that time when we had the Parliament. He said it'd be a good idea to have a barber shop and let that make the school, self-sufficient. So, after giving it a little bit of consideration, brothers thought that to be a good idea, So he got together, on that idea, found the building and everything, that was reasonable. And coming together, brothers wanted to, make this happen, so they were checking out different contractors, to get an idea of what kind of course it would be. I came to a Parliament while they was discussing that, and I said, man, that is, it's damn near uncivilized, because we got a brother that could do it all, everything. You don't need to go to a lot of different 85%ers that's trying to be 10%ers and, let them get rich off of our idea. You understand? We got a brother that can add on and help us, build this here. A Unique is a builder. He do it all. Brick, masonry. He do electrician work, plumbing, carpentry, roofing. He do it all. You know, um, home improvements. We work together on different things, and I know the brother's ability. And when I put it out there, brothers thought it was a good idea. Reached out to him. He was with it, went and got him, and he here, making it happen.
That's peace. That's peace, God. So, my next question had to do with the gods, the Lord Supreme, Born Reality, yourself, and Shabu, and now the Master Builder, as I've went ahead and gave him the title of the Master Builder, because what I heard you just talk about was the idea, and then how the idea was funded, and then the idea and the funding had to be all brought together and made a reality by the brother who has the skills to actually put the building together. Could you just express how it feels to see Charlotte, or what I'm saying, this city, back as being an epicenter of building, because this is actual building. So how do you think that this will have a positive effect on the nation's growth and development in this area?
I mean, everything for real. This is a central location, Charlotte. It's like, one of the banking capitals. You understand? In North Carolina, this is actually the biggest city in North Carolina. The only reason Charlotte is not the capital of North Carolina, in, my understanding mean to see. That mean how I see it. I ain't sticking no pins or trying to twist nothing. I'm showing you my vision, of how I see it. It's real close to the borderline of South Carolina. And whenever you have a capital, it got to be in a central location. Like New Bern, North Carolina used to be the capital of North Carolina, but it was right, on the coast, on the water. So if it was any kind of attacks, then all they had to do was come right off the water, you know what I'm saying, and could take over North Carolina through the capital. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte, the same thing. It's so close to South Carolina border that a mug could come from another state, into South Carolina. I mean, from South Carolina into North Carolina.
And be right at the capital. Right.
And then they could take over the capital. You understand? But Charlotte still remains, a banking capital. Also in North Carolina, Charlotte is, the home of sports team, major league teams. You understand? You got basketball, you got the Hornets, you got football, you got a semi-pro baseball team, and you got NASCAR, like minutes away, in Concord. So it's a lot of activities, that be going on. Also, socially, it's a lot of things that be happening. It's a lot of places where, people get together, regardless of, race or, whatever, and socialize, So, it's a city where, things is moving, and there's a lot of ideas that we have as far as civilization that could be implemented just by, the atmosphere that we have right here in Charlotte. You understand what I'm saying? It's, it's just a good thing, man.
Indeed. I've been down here for a while, and I can remember that when we did our first regional conference, that people outside of our region said that we set the bar very high for the nation to see how a conference is done. Do you think that the building and the coming together of the gods to build this school would set a good example for the other states in our region, as well as the entire nation all over the country?
Of course. Mathematics is life, and anytime you build, then you're showing a living example of what God do. God is the highest degree of living mathematics. There's nothing higher than God. Build, destroy, and born is what God do. And that's what we doing. We getting together, advocating a society or a group of men for one common cause. And when I say man, women and children is included. Because everything is real. That's what civilization. And you can't have one without the other. There's different aspects, one reality, and this is what we bringing forth.